This book will change your life, just like it changed my life. What are the 4 agreements, and how can they change your life? Here's a short little rundown of what the 4 agreements are in the first place. 1, be impeccable with your word. 2, don't make assumptions. 3, don't take anything personally. And 4, always do your best. And that's the most important one. So let's get into those 4 and what they mean and how they changed my life and how they'll change your life as well. Why your word? Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, "In the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God." Through the Word, you express your creative power. It is through the Word that you manifest everything, regardless of what language you speak. Your intent manifests through the Word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the Word. Basically, your word is your power you have to create, to make things happen within your life. And how I take it is, if you say you're going to do something, you need to do it. For example, you tell your friend, "Oh yeah, I'll go to the gym with you at 6 a.m. tomorrow." And that time comes and you don't do it. You broke your word, breaking the most powerful creation you have for this universe. That's very important. But that's not the most important thing about your word. Your word internalizes in yourself. So when you make these little promises to yourself and you break them, you're just destroying your world and your word. So when you tell yourself, "I'm going to go work out, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to practice guitar, I'm going to learn this language, I'm going to learn a sport, I'm going to do all these things," and you don't actually do it, you're losing trust with yourself. Like, you wouldn't let down a friend like that, so why would you let down yourself? Be impeccable with your word, and don't let down yourself. Impeccability comes from Latin, and it means without sin. Everything you feel or believe or say that goes against yourself is a sin. So like the book was saying earlier, we need to be impeccable with our word. The second agreement, don't take anything personally. And yes, I'm eating honey. I'm about to go work out. This is my pre-workout. Now, what does it mean to not take anything personally? Well, in the book, it means that anything that happens to you or another person does to you or says to you, you don't take it personally. So you don't take it to heart, because there's probably something else that they're going through. I experience this a lot in my life. I encounter a lot of negative people. I'm in college, and there's just a lot of negativity around, a lot of things that I know people are going through things. I don't want to sound like pretentious or better. I'm obviously going through things as well. Everyone's going through something, but what someone says to you, they might not necessarily mean, especially if they don't really know you, and you can't let it go to heart. So if someone says, "You are dumb," or I like this example, a teacher says to you in preschool or 3rd grade, let's say, when you're a bit more competent and you can understand more, they say, "You're bad at math." Now, you can take this to heart, and you can tell yourself, you can build that story within yourself and say, "I'm bad at math, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at math," because your teacher told you that. But are you really bad at math, or do you just not have the correct skills, and were you not taught the right way? You see, there's 2 different ways. Someone could call you stupid. Now, are you really stupid? No. But if you let that go to your heart, your subconscious will start telling you these things, and you'll actually become more stupid. It's a crazy thing. It's a placebo effect. Don't take anything personally, because by taking things personally, you set yourself up to suffer for nothing. Now, do you really want to suffer for nothing? Are you going to let someone else control your life? Like I said earlier, words are powerful. You can't let someone else's words completely control your life. So you're only stupid, you're only bad at math if you tell yourself that. Don't let anyone else tell you what's right and what's wrong with you. The third agreement, don't make assumptions. Everyone knows the saying, making assumptions makes an ass out of you and me. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz does not say this in the book, but he says some other interesting things. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption, because assumptions set us up for failure. Now, he uses an example of if you're at a mall and you see a cute girl, they go up to you, or maybe they're just a bit far away and they smile at you. Your brain starts to kind of make assumptions. Your brain might start to say, oh, this girl likes you. Oh, go talk to this girl. But she could just be nice. She could just be being nice, or she could just be smiling at someone behind you. So you kind of just start to make assumptions. And if you don't actually go up and ask her, start talking to her, you'll never know. And you make that assumption, oh, I'm the coolest guy. This girl looked at me and, I'm the GOAT. But realistically, she could have not been looking at you. She could have been just being polite. There's a lot of different things. Now, he also talks about relationships. I'm no relationship expert or advice giver. I've never really had a girlfriend or anything, but he says if you're in a marriage or relationship and you never really talk to the person, you just make assumptions about what they want, that leads to negative, toxic relationships. You need to be open about everything, and you can't make assumptions, because assumptions lead to suffering, because you assume one thing and that thing builds up and you're like, oh, I'm on top of the world, like this person loves me, but really on the other side they don't feel the same, and you're just balancing it out. But if you were to talk to them, you meet in the middle and you make a plan. So don't make assumptions. They make an ass out of you of me. That's the third agreement. Now, like I said earlier, the fourth agreement, this is the most important one, and it kind of combines all aspects of life where you want them. And the fourth agreement is always do your best. Don Miguel Ruiz uses this interesting example about a monk trying to master meditation. Let me read it to you. There was a man who wanted to transcend his suffering, so he went to a Buddhist temple to find a master to help him. He went to the master and asked, "Master, if I meditate 4 hours a day, how long will it take me to transcend?" The master looked at him and said, "If you meditate 4 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 10 years. Thinking he could do better, the man then said, "Oh, master, what if I meditated 8 hours a day? How long will it take me to transcend then?" The master looked at him and said, "If you meditate 8 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 20 years. But why will it take longer if I meditate more?" the man asked. The master replied, "You are not here to sacrifice your joy or your life. You are here to live, to be happy, and to love. If you can do your best in 2 hours of meditation, but you spend 8 hours instead, you only grow tired, miss the point, and you won't enjoy your life. Do your best, and perhaps you will learn that no matter how long you meditate, you can live long, love, and be happy." Now take a minute. What does this mean to you? What is something in your life where you're kind of just going through the motions and not doing your best in? I'll give you a sec to think. Really eat some honey. Gave you a sec to think. I was thinking of one as well, and mine is actually creating these videos, because recently I posted a bunch of videos where it's just me talking and it was kind of, no effort put into them. These videos I kind of script a little bit more and actually have a set plan of what I want to say, and I'm doing my best in these videos, and whatever reaction people have, they have, but I'm not gonna be sad if this gets no views, because I worked hard on this, and I think this is something that people can benefit from. And I love this book. I think everyone can benefit from this book. So take your thing, always do your best at it, no matter what it is. Whether you're doing your laundry, fold it the best you can. Making your bed, fold it the best you can. Doing your homework, do it the best you can. The dishes, do it the best you can. Making YouTube or your job, do it the best you possibly can, because no matter what outcome, there will always be something to be proud of. The fact that you always did your best. So take these 4 agreements to the heart. Never make assumptions. Always do your best. Don't take anything personally. And be impeccable with your word. And the three beginning ones are not possible if you don't always do your best. Because if you don't do your best at not taking things personally, it won't work and you'll forget. If you don't do your best at being impeccable with your word, it won't be the best you can get. So you always need to be true to your word. I highly recommend reading this book more in depth. It's only like 110 pages, and you'll learn a lot. I've read this like 4 times, recommended it to a bunch of friends. Let me know what you think of this book in the comments, and did you learn something? Let me also know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great holiday season. Peace out.